I mean, we talked a little bit about not relying on the first game to, ease into it and then, get back to the drawing board. Like we wanted to come out and compete. I thought we did that. That was progress against Minnesota. And it was progress again tonight. I thought we threw a really good punch. We competed for 48 minutes. We laid it on the line. I thought we got contributions across all 8 guys. And obviously we were a player too short, but we weren't short in competitive spirit or our feistiness or our scrap tonight.
Steve McGehee, News 9.
Mark, it was tough scoring there in overtime. Did you like the shot selection, and also was fatigue a factor at all?
Here on the big screen, it looked like
Never easy to measure fatigue, so I'm not sure. In terms of the shots, I mean, they're good defense. I thought our pace did slow a little bit. I thought we had some opportunities to attack earlier than we did, and we were still in the mode of the end of regulation. And that's a tough adjustment when you go to an overtime to get back into like game flow for a couple minutes. So we'll learn from it, and make the proper adjustments. These are all learning opportunities. And as we've talked about in these close games, there's a lot of learning that can take place, and we'll make sure we put the work in to do that.
Barry Trammell, The Oklahoman.
Yeah, Mark, I would assume the first time you share a basketball court with LeBron James, it can be a little intimidating. I assume that goes away pretty quickly. But even when it goes away, what can you learn as a young player or even as a coach and coaching staff from competing against LeBron?
I mean, he's in a category of a lot of players like that, they've played so many games. They've gotten so many reps. They've seen all the pictures. They've got such a high intellect. I'd throw Al Horford in that category. I'd throw George Hill in that category. I mean, they just find so many things through the experiences that they have. And I think that's why it's so important for young players to learn from every single game they play. Because I'm sure when he came in the league, or when Mike Muscala came in the league, or Al, they didn't come in as finished products mentally. It takes a lot of time and a lot of reflection and a lot of work to get to the point to where these guys are at. And he's obviously the best, out there when it comes to that. But, that's the track we're on. We're trying to learn from all these things. We're trying to learn from our competitors as well as our experiences. And, our guys have taken a great approach to that so far.
And also, you lost in overtime, but sort of your team leader went to the foul line with 1 second left, having to make 3 to extend the game. He made them all. Didn't seem to be a sweat at all. How valuable is that for SGA to go through, that kind of situation and come through, and what can that do for him going forward?
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty impressive. Obviously, it takes a lot of guts to go up there and make the shots like he did. I also, the management of the clock, we had a jump ball, which is a really unique situation, down 3 with 7 seconds. And I told those guys if we won the tip to just go. And I told him, if he could get one quick to get it, because we still have the timeout. But obviously the jump ball took him in the backcourt, and he only had about 5 seconds when he gathered it. And just the awareness to get up to the line and to shot fake in that situation is a really mature play. So I was as impressed with his ability to get to the line in that situation as I was with him stepping up and making 3 shots.
Thanks, Mark.
Joe Masato, The Oklahoman.
Mark, Kenrich had 6 offensive rebounds tonight, and Hami had 5. It looked like you guys were diving all over the floor for those loose balls. What did you see from their effort tonight?
Yeah, I mean, those guys are monsters, and it's every night. They're not perfect, but their effort and their competitiveness and the jolt that they give to the team when they go in the game, they're electric players, and they deserve a lot of credit. I mean, there was plenty of times where it got dicey tonight, and they came up with a ball that we desperately needed at that time. So we got contributions from everyone tonight. I thought Darius Miller stabilized us. I thought Justin Jackson played really well tonight. And obviously, K. Rich and our starters were tremendous. It was all 8 guys.
Nick Gallo, Thunder Broadcasting.
Mark, with Bays, as he continues to kind of develop that physicality as a player, how encouraged have you been with his rebounding so far this season? He had 16 tonight, and how do you evaluate him on that front?
Yeah, I mean, he's learning the physicality that it takes to compete. And he's being put in a lot of situations where he's playing against more physically developed players. I mean, tonight he played all the backup 5 minutes when Al was off the floor. And that's the likes of, obviously Harrell and Gasol, and so it takes a lot of, competitiveness and physicality to compete. And he's done a nice job of adjusting to that. And, these are just more experiences for him. Tonight he was really good, obviously. And he's being put in so many situations. It's going to serve him so well long term.
Andrew Schlecht down to dunk.
Yeah, a follow-up to the Baisley discussion. I just wonder from night to night, he was very aggressive tonight on the offensive end, but have you noticed anything, like any trends with him on his aggressiveness? Because he'll be real aggressive like he was tonight. He had a season high in shot attempts, but then he'll have nights where he seems to kind of fade back a little bit. Is there any pattern to that?
Not that I can tell. I mean, it's just they're trying to figure it out. I think one of the toughest adjustments that players have to make early in their career is figuring out when to be aggressive and confident and when to be like functional and restrained. And I think you see that with obviously him. You see that with Poku. You see that with Teo. You see that with Hami. You see it with Shea, as a game manager. It's part of maturing as a player. I think if you go in and you're uber aggressive, you can be over aggressive and miss some plays. And if you're too restrained or you're too passive, then you're just timid and you're out there. And it's a really hard balance to strike because every play requires something different. Every moment requires something different. And so it takes a long time to figure that out. And I think the best part about this is these guys are getting a ton of experiences and they take a great approach to learning from them. And the only way to smooth that out is to experience it and learn from it. And we're checking both of those boxes right now.